Hey everybody, John and Lance from the bench, mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet so that you get all of our content here at Sports Map HOU. Why are you dabbing? Why are you dabbing?
I'm anticipating you're going to talk about Texans.
Okay, we're going to talk about Texans.
Okay.
And the Texans are dabbing on everybody right now. Oh, maybe they're not going to win any games. Oh, well, maybe they are. Maybe they're one of the best teams in football right now. They're certainly the best team in the AFC South, that's for
Clearly.
sure. Got a little hopeful, I think, after watching that game. But Nick Caserio said he's focused on the process, not the results. So if a team comes calling for guys like Brandon Cooks or Mark Ingram, how would fans react to giving up more play? You saw them get rid of Bradley Roby, who was their best cornerback, and they just said, he can move along. Was that more culture, or was that just let's get as many picks as we possibly can?
I think that one was culture. I do think moving forward, you got to be thinking about picks. You got to look at this like a major league team that is in rebuild mode, and you need to be selling off assets for picks and looking to rebuild your minor league system, as it were, which would be your team depth and your young players. But to me, John, that Roby move was partly culture based. I think they want the right guys in here, and I'm all on board with Nick Caserio saying he's for process and not results. Because if you follow your process, your ultimate results will show up. If you follow the right process, the process is how you build a sustainable organization. And we can nitpick or maybe even have valid criticisms of Nick Caserio, but you can't doubt. There is no changing history. He was with an organization that has been has had one of the great organizational runs in the history of the sport with the New England Patriots, and they did it through process. They did it through culture. And so, what we may think about individual moves here or there, whatever you think, Nick Caserio has seen it. He's been a part of it. And so you have to be a little bit excited about the fact that he may know what it's supposed to look like and what it's supposed to take to get you there. And I'm kind of with you, like, I don't know if that you said this, but if somebody's got to go, then they've got to go. Because just because you have a really good closer on a bad baseball team, what value is it to you? So Brandon Cooks, if the Texans find themselves at 3-6 at some point, move Cooks if the price tag's right.
But here's the deal, though. On the Bradley Roby, I understood because that's still part of the process. And he's a better football player, but I don't want that kind of thing in my locker rooms because I want to build a culture of winning here.
Right.
Brandon Cooks is their guy. Brandon Cooks was brought over because he is an Easterby guy. Easterby was part of the organization. Nick Caserio wasn't when Brandon Cooks was brought here. Ingram is their kind of guy. I know they're both shorter term answers, but he's still part of that culture that they want to build here. Nick Caserio said even after the Bradley Roby thing, hey, we want to win. No, we're here to win. We want to win football games. You can't believe him, though, if he trades away a culture guy that is a good football player as well. What we've seen so far them do is we've gotten rid of bad culture guys, even if they're good football players. Brandon Cooks is both of those things.
Yeah, but you started it off with process over results. And if it's about process and you can get a third rounder for Brandon Cooks, then that may be all you need to know, is that part of the process is adding to the draft pick total that you have, because the result of a single game or a set of games with Brandon Cooks this year is not going to be equal to what you're looking for from a process standpoint. You don't get to that process without, I think in this particular case, without draft capital. But also remember that Brandon Cooks is the same guy after the Deshaun Watson stuff started. The Brandon Cooks was liking Instagram posts that were talking about him potentially being traded, I think. Or I know Will Fuller did something like that at one point, but I think Brandon Cooks for a little bit wasn't super happy as well, and people were getting their little microscope out on his what he was liking on Instagram. Yeah. Look, he's an Easterby guy and he's a good person and all that stuff, but Easterby doesn't run this team anymore. Maybe you didn't hear it, John. Easterby doesn't run this team anymore. Nick Caserio is the Billy Bats of this organization.
Coaching, so that's
Billy,
good. Okay.
Billy Bats is Nick Caserio.
All right, let me give you this one. The Redskins call about Tyrod Taylor. Okay, because you got to see Davis Mills at some point. Whoa! It's about wait a minute. I thought
Best
it was
quarterback
about,
in the league. I'm not trading the best quarterback in the league.
If it's about the process, and you have to see Davis Mills as well, Tyrod Taylor is he's a stopgap. I think we know that. He's not going to be here long term.
What do you give me for him?
A second rounder.
Oh, bye, Tyrod. You give me a second for Tyrod Taylor?
A third rounder.
Washington's third rounder is going to be in the 20s potentially.
Hey, Washington needs a quarterback. They think they're a playoff team. And is Taylor Heineke going to get you there? I don't know that a second rounder would be outrageous for Washington to give up for a guy that look how well Tyrod can play.
For Tyrod, it'd be outrageous. For that's a Sam Darnold price tag. I think for even a third would be probably considered high league standards. But if you're Washington, you do have a chance to win in your division. Maybe you would consider that, but really, he's a lesser version of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick will be back in 6 to 8 weeks. I think they're going to wait and see what happens with Tyler Heineke. So I won't go too far down that road. But if you wanted to do something like a move, Tyrod Taylor, Cam Newton is still sitting there. He's still sitting there. Nick Caserio was in New England. He's got a feel for Cam Newton as a person, as a guy who'd fit in a locker room. Maybe Cam Newton would want to come in and play for Houston. So yeah, maybe you do keep all options on the table, and that would include currently the quarterback with 112 quarterback rating in the AFC South, Tyrod Taylor.